y'all, welcome back to the Super Cup of Joe. This is going to be my quick spoiler-free review for The Witches on HBO Max, the 2020 remake of the 1990 film based on the same book of the same name. Set in 1968, orphan boy stumbles across a conference of witches while staying with his grandmother at a hotel and gets transformed into a mouse by the Grand High Witch when he discovers her plan to turn all children into vermin. He and his grandmother, with the help of two other children also turned into mice, must foil the witch's scheme and kill the Grand High Witch. It's a dark, cartoony story. I know a little bit about the book. I've seen the 1990 film a very long time ago. Back then it was low-key terrifying, traumatizing, but if I watched it now, kind of be like you rewatching the Tim Burton version of it. Like the practical effects in this generation, it looks bad. Everything's replaced with CGI. Before I watched the movie, I watched the trailer, but like it was like a side-by-side version of the 1990 film. And I'll tell everyone if they're contemplating watching this movie but they've seen the original movie, I'll leave a link in the description if you want to find it. But watch the side-by-side trailer and you'll know if you're interested or not. When I watched it, I was like, oh, this looks like a cool little updated version. Then as I'm watching the movie, it became, why was this movie made? I guess it's just because it's near Halloween, they need something special. I wasn't bored watching the movie, I was actually entertained. I watched the whole thing, but it doesn't mean this movie was necessary. The VFX, I know a lot of people judge that to like a T, and I understand why, but I don't really care for it that much. On the mice, it made them look a little cute, cartoony. I feel like this movie was made more for the younger people than the people that watched the original movie back in the day and are now grown up. These effects are appealing to kids because it looks cartoony, but for like adults, it kind of turns us off, depending on like the kind of like genre the movie's in. It looks scary back then because practical effects, but with the CGI, it just makes it look less real. Anne Hathaway's performance in this movie, it's super cringy. She had so many different accents, but I have to give it to her. She went all in, over the top. Anjelica Huston did the same thing. It's just two different people. Angelica had that boss presence about her. Hathaway, even though I like her, she seems like she's trying too hard. I feel that way with some of her other movies too. I wasn't digging the makeup design, you know, that made her like mouth all big and huge. It kind of reminded me of like the Joker and also like the Truth or Dare where like they have the big grin. We're trying to make it look scary and freaky. They might get that result for the kids and younger people, but for adults, it ain't gonna work. I wouldn't let your kid watch this alone though. So even though her performance was like low-key batshit crazy, she did a good job with whatever script she had to work with. Chris Rock playing the older version of the young boy who doesn't have a name in the film and also narrates. I thought it was cool. Also, the movie changing its setting from the original film kind of appealed to the general audience of today. I think it made it a little more fun. The original movie was like set in England, like in the 1980s, whereas this movie is set in like the 1960s Alabama. Octavia Spencer, I also think did a good job with what she had to work with. In the original movie, the grandmother was kind of stationed. She didn't really do that much. But in this movie, Spencer is like really active. Chemistry with the grandson, I really liked. It was fun how they would like talk back and forth. Stanley Tucci was wasted in this film. They could have saved money and casted a nobody. All the other witches, like they're just there. I wish they had a few more lines, more scenes. If you've seen the original movie, there's something or someone missing from this film, and I would have liked to see that in this movie, but honestly, you don't have to watch this movie if you've seen the original movie. It's just this version is more appealing to the newer generation. It wasn't horrible. Again, I was locked in the whole time. It's just like Anne Hathaway's performance is this over the top, very cartoony. Even as a movie, the plot for this and like the book, it's kind of stupid. Especially like you see it, they showed in the movie like how this high witch has a certain power that she displays on one of her like lackeys, but her master plan is to turn kids into mice. Is kind of like really silly. The director of this film, he's one of the best. I just wasn't feeling the 8, 9, or 10 out of 10, you know. His next project is a live action Pinocchio movie, so that's gonna be very interesting. This movie, very silly, dark fantasy comedy, a kid's Halloween film, a remake no one asked for. It wasn't terrible. Fans of the original might not like this, but the younger people that haven't seen the original or read the book might dig this. For me, I'm on the border, so I'm giving The Witches a 5 out of 10. I was entertained enough, but I'll probably forget this movie in a week or so. Thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed my review, please hit the like and subscribe button. Check out my channel for other content. Leave a comment down below. Take care of yourselves inside and out. Be kind to one another, and I will see you guys next time.
The legend will never die.